What's up, Panthers Nation? It's time to flip the script. And I'm talking specifically about the offense today. More specifically about Greg Little, who is back and healthy and ready to play at left tackle. We've had Darrell Williams there, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. But Greg Little is set and ready to go for week 3. That's the most exciting news I've seen all week, ladies and gentlemen. I can't even tell you how happy I am to see that news right there, because we drafted Greg Little to solve our left tackle problem. Finally, we draft a left tackle. Finally, after 6 years, we finally draft a left tackle. Now, does that solve our problem? That's the question. Now, here's what we're doing right now. We have a basic offense run by Norv Turner. West Coast offense, I think, is what it is. I could be wrong. It's outdated. It's 2019. It needs to be flipped. We've got Christian McCaffrey taking all the load, doing 90% of the work for the offense. And then you've got Cam Newton, who sprained his foot again, re-injuring that foot today. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit too. But you've got Ron Rivera refusing to take Cam out and tell us the truth about his injuries. The full truth. I understand there's some stuff you have to hide medically due to rules and regulations and whatnot, but what you can share with us, please share with us, Ron. I'm serious, dude. Whatever we need to know it soon, because this dude's days are numbered soon. If we keep not fixing the line, this is going to be 3 years and Cam is done. We don't want this dude to be in a wheelchair by the time he retires. I'm serious. But I'm going to get to that Ron Rivera interview in a minute as well. But let's start with the left tackle situation and why Greg Little is important. Why Greg Little is essential to this offense working. Alright. Now, here's what I discovered after watching a video by Peter King, the Good Morning America football reviewer, for NBC, I think it is. And he reviewed the tape of the Tampa Bay Bucks versus our offensive line. Now, at first you're thinking, okay, this is going to get ugly, right? You would be correct. Guess who he centered on? Darrell Williams, number 60. All 3 plays, he centered in on number 60, ladies and gentlemen. What does that tell you? Here's where it starts to get interesting. Well, I started digging into, where did people rotate from on the offensive line and for what reason? And when you think back to the left tackle problem, you go back to Byron Bell, I think, is where it starts. Byron Bell did just fine until he got rotated to the left side. Then he was god-awful. Gone. Mike Remmers. Some of y'all still remember Mike Remmers and that disastrous Super Bowl that we could have prevented if we had just switched out Remmers with someone else. Nope. Ron Rivera refused to do it. And guess what? We don't have a Lombardi sitting in our trophy case right now. Because Von Miller and Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator, saw right through our weakness. Our one weakness on the line. Our only weakness, mind you, that we had on the entire team. So, we continue on. 2016 turns into a trash heap. An absolute trash heap. They kept Remmers in. What did we want him to do? Take him out. And guess where he is now? Not on our team anymore. Just like Byron Bell. You're starting to see a pattern here, folks? Because I am. Guess where he got rotated from? Right tackle. Right tackle, ladies and gentlemen, to left tackle. Seeing the pattern? So now we got Darrell Williams, who got switched from wherever he started from. I think right guard, if I'm not mistaken. Right guard or right tackle, I'm not sure which they had him listed as. Now, he's over at left tackle while Greg Little was out. And guess what? He gets absolutely trash heaped by an average Tampa Bay speed rusher who we made look like a Pro Bowler. In one game, the dude had 3 sacks. 3 sacks against Darrell Williams. He just did a spin move on him each time. You could see it in the video. I'll link that video down there for you guys so you can see this for yourself. It was brutal, man. It was brutal watching that. He had no chance. He had no chance. You think, oh, okay, let's put maybe Greg Olsen over there. Let's maybe move to a 2 tight end set and put Ian in there. Nah. Nope. Ron says nope. He's on his own. Dude got burned at least half a dozen times in that game. Half a dozen times, making this guy look like an absolute Pro Bowler. Making him look like freaking Julius Peppers out there. I'm telling you, man, like, y'all watch. Darrell Williams will not be here within 2 to 3 years. I'm calling that right now. And if I'm right, that proves my theory dead to rights. And so that's what I'd like to see us not do anymore. We gotta stop doing that. Draft some left tackles. First and second round. We need some depth. We gotta stop converting, man. It's killing us. So when we got Greg Little, I think that's going to start that transition period away from doing that. So that's why Greg Little is essential to this offensive line. After that, once Greg Little gets plugged in and he does well, then we'll see what our other problems are on that line. But right now, that's our main one. Because, honestly, Darrell Williams was so bad at left tackle. You let Jason Freddy and the monster from the Loch Ness through our front gates just to absolutely destroy Cam, and it's not even Halloween yet. Come on, man. We can't keep doing this. We gotta fix this line. Alright, so here is where I had a friend give me some play suggestions or ideas. The first one I already told you, the 2 tight end set. I'm suggesting we do a couple more pitch plays and have the 2 tight end set to where Ian can block for those pitch plays. Because I feel like we would do really, really well if we got Cam running one direction or the other with that blocking. from the two tight end set. And let's get Chris Hogan involved. Let's put in Kyle. Let's rest Cam Newton. Honestly, everybody, the general consensus wants to see him benched. I can't say I disagree with him at this point. I think he's washed up. I think his attitude is, he's lost his passion for the game. I don't know what else to say for Cam right now. Like, he just doesn't look like himself. I think maybe if you get him running, maybe his attitude might improve. Let him loose. Let him do his thing. And we'll see if his passion comes back for the game. Let's see if he can stay healthy. Give him some blocking when he does run. Don't just leave him there by himself. That's just stupid. And I want to see Cam actually hold the ball like he's a running back. Not like a loaf of bread. Like an actual running back. Like you're supposed to be holding it when you run past the line of scrimmage as a quarterback. So, I wanted to add that in because every year, I keep seeing him like, okay, he'll hold the ball like that, and you want to see him hold it like this when he's running. And I wanted to demonstrate that to people because I don't know how many people are not seeing that or not pointing that out, but it needs to be a thing. I've seen that since he came up here to Carolina. Ever since he came to Carolina, he's been doing that, and I'm just like, just wait for the fumble. Just wait for the fumble. Just wait for the fumble. It hasn't happened yet, but it will. He keeps doing that. All right, so yeah, let's rest Cam for a few games. Let's see what Kyle is about. Ron has decided to start Kyle, so I have no problem with this. A few other people agree with me as well. Agree to disagree. That's a debate worth having. It's a debate that we've been putting off for way too long, and we need to start having it now. Since everybody wants Cam benched, which quarterback do you start, Will or Kyle? Y'all take your pick in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know why you think that way too. So moving on. That foot sprain, I don't know how long he's going to be out for. Hopefully not for too much longer, though. But I do remember one question in that Ron Rivera interview I want to point out before I point out the other two questions that were asked and answered by Ron is, would the foot sprain affect his mechanics? Duh. He has to plant off of his back foot to throw. That's pretty obvious, media. Come on, man. Come on now. I gotta call you out on that one. That was stupid. Alright. Moving on. My friend also believes that we should draft a running back to help Christian McCaffrey out to carry the load. I agree with this. I second this hugely. No one's pointed this out yet. Maybe some of you have, and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm pointing it out now because I agree with the man. He might have been saying it since the beginning of the year, but I'm glad we're covering it now. So, here's the thing. For everybody that's been complaining about Norv Turner's play calling, there's always a worse one out there. There's always a worse one. I messaged a few people about this earlier today. And I saw this on Monday Night Football and I could not believe my eyes. If you've been watching the Jets at all, you know how trash their management is and how awful their offense coordinator is. Their defense looked okay. I'll say that. Their defense looked okay. But we're talking about their offensive coordinator right now. Specifically, here's a play that I saw. 2nd and 20. They're, I want to say, at the 35-yard line. 2nd and 20. You got 4 people deep in coverage. Everybody else stacked up in the box. I mean, jam-packed in the box. It's like a jam middle play or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what specifically it was. But it could have been in an engage 8, I don't know. But you got how many people in the box there? And the original play is a draw up the middle. They have solid running backs, granted. I'll give you that. But you got plenty of time on the clock. You're down by 10 points. And lo and behold, any normal offensive coordinator, even Cam Newton would have audibled on that play, seeing that everybody was in the box, and gotten an easy 10 yards out of that. Nope. Not the Jets. No, let's run it up the middle, keep our original play, and let's pray for a miracle. So then, instead of 3rd and 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, you're looking at 3rd and 20. And they ended up kicking a field goal. The point is, there's worse offensive coordinators out there than Norv Turner. These guys didn't even understand an audible. I mean, the most basic, even Madden players were just like, huh? On that one. Like, I don't know what to tell you. So, for everybody that's throwing Norv under the bus, there's worse ones out there. Just be patient with him. I'm not happy with him either, but the West Coast offense style has to go. That's got to go. That's not working. It never did work in 2019. It never will work in 2019. Toss that. Toss that right out the window, just like Grandma's spaghetti. All right. So, two of the 2 questions that Ron Rivera was asked in this interview. Oh, boy. Guys, Ron just gave the most basic answers in that interview. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. He gave the most basic interviews in the past 2 years I've ever seen from a head coach. He did not even... If he doesn't know whether Cam went through MRIs, any kind of tests, who does know? And why aren't you telling us? And what does Norv say that you haven't said in any interviews? Like, Norv, I haven't seen a single Norv Turner interview this week. Maybe I missed one. Maybe I missed it. But Ron's over here just like, well, I can't tell you anything that Norv hasn't said in his interview. And I'm like, what interview? Excuse me? I've been following the YouTube channel since day 1, since we lost. You think I'm going to miss an interview from Norv Turner? Especially after the way we played? I want answers from both of those guys, man. They're both on my hot seat right now. I'm not happy with him. And that interview from Ron did not help his case at all. Let me tell y'all two of the things that were asked. This may create some salt within this community right here. The first one. Would you consider going and getting a veteran quarterback for long-term purposes if Cam is out for a long amount of time? Reasonable question, right? Reasonable question. Ron goes, no, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. We drafted who we drafted, and we're going to stick with him. It's like, Ron, have you lost your marbles, man? If we need a veteran quarterback, we need to go and get one. If we need one, we need to go and get one. I will say that twice. Because I want to reiterate that. If Kyle cannot cut it, if Will cannot cut it, we need a veteran quarterback. Period. Where are you going to get one? From the free agent list? From trading? It's got to come from somewhere, Ron. We had a total of 3 hurt quarterbacks last year. It would have been 4 if we'd have left Kyle in. It would have been 4 going down to the practice squad quarterback. Because we didn't fix our line. Because you refused to fix our line. And kept switching out people from right tackle and right guard to left tackle. Because for 6 years, you refused to draft a left tackle. I got to put you under the microscope on this one, man. I'm sorry. I've got to. Like, I cannot defend you any longer on that issue. I'm going attack dog now. Because this is hurting our team going forward. This is now our 4th year. Our 4th year, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting without a playoff spot. Or doing anything productive. You want to tell me that that's satisfactory to you, Ron? If that's satisfactory to you, walk out the door right now. Because I'm not satisfied. These fans are not satisfied. This community is not satisfied in Charlotte. And none of us should be in either state. None of us. That was not a satisfactory answer, and that's the wrong answer, Ron. Sorry to tell you, but that is the wrong answer. That keeps you on the hot seat and even makes it hotter. Alright, and then the second question, and we're going to end on this right here. We're going to try to end on some positivity, though, after this, though. Do you feel certain about using Kyle in short-term situations? Ron's answer is, if we have to go that direction, then we'll go that direction. We're here, bro. We're already here. What part of this situation makes you think that we're going to just sit by and let Cam just take over and ruin this offense more and more and more as his brain just turns to mush after that concussion in 2015 from that Denver player? He's not making clear decisions. His health is declining. He's always injured. His mind isn't right, even though you think it is. You say it is, but it isn't in that interview. It is time to move on. At some point, you have to change quarterbacks. You have to rotate the quarterbacks in order to keep your franchise going. But don't tell the Steelers and the Patriots that, because they'll never go for that. Of course not. Anyway, that's another rant in and of itself that I'm not going to get into. But it is time. Let Cam play out his contract. He's done. I feel like he's done. Unless he can prove otherwise in one game this year. We'll give him one game. Let's be fair, everybody. Let's be fair. Let's give him one game against an opponent that we should be beating. Let's do it. Just for rocks and giggles. Right? Kicks and giggles. Let's throw him in for a quarter, see what he does. If he chokes, if he can't finish the drive, and it's not his fault, fine. If it is his fault, tell him to kick rocks in 2020, because I'd like to see us tank it and get Trevor Lawrence. I've had enough of this. 90% of this fan base has had enough of this. Management, get control of the reins of this team again, or Tepper will do it for you. He only has a short patience span, but I'm telling you, when it runs out, it will run out. And it will run out quick. It'll burn out like a candle in the wind. So you had better get it together, Ron and Norv. You're both on the hot seat right now, and I'm not happy with either of you. I've been defending you for years, and now you're both on my hot seat. Fix the problem, or let Tepper fix it for you, and both of you will be out the door. That's my rant right now, but we're going to end on something positive. We do have Greg Little coming back. That's a positive. Let's see what this line looks like with Greg Little on it, and without my man, number 60, who kept choking last game. Let's see what happens. I'm hoping for good things. Let's try out that strategy. Let's see how it works out. I'm going to suggest that on the official pages. And I ask that you guys do too if you think it'll work. And ladies as well. Please do. Please do suggest it. We're gonna throw those suggestions out there, and let's just see what happens. Let's just drop some plays around that, and start from the drawing board, because what we were doing was not working. So let's start over. This is only week 3. We're still on track for 9, but we got to get it together right now. That just put pressure on us to win one game later on that we are in doubt on, or probably should lose on my schedule that I predicted earlier on. So let's get it together and let's beat those Cardinals on Sunday, huh? Take back the reins, Ron. Take back the reins. Keep pounding.